So, storytelling for startups via StartUpSelfie, and this is the podcast edition, actually season 1, episode 1, and we're here actually in Ohrid, in beautiful Ohrid in Macedonia. Why? I will tell you why, because like a couple of weeks ago I read this cool article about this cool American startup, which is now growing into a big company that has headquarters in Macedonia and is hiring like crazy. Like the title was Slice is hiring like crazy in Macedonia. So I had to get acquainted and learn more about it firsthand. That's why I'm here in Ohrid. And I met this super cool person. His name is Alban. He is the general manager. Am I right?
Yep.
And I'm really happy that he is my first guest of the first podcast of StartUpSelfie. And we're gonna kick off this conversation by sharing his story.
Awesome.
So tell me more about yourself, Alban.
First, good to be here. I think this podcast is gonna have a few seasons in it, so excited to be the first one there. Yes, my name is Alban Osmani. I'm originally from Chicago. I was born and raised in the States. I have family here in Macedonia. I've lived here for about 4 years now as the GM of Macedonia.
GM of Macedonia.
Of Slice in Macedonia. Soon to be president of Macedonia on that way. Just it's awesome being a part of this. It's awesome being interviewed about something that you do on a daily basis, and I thoroughly enjoy kind of building something unique and special in this country, and Slice is it. And for me, I wish that everyone that your readers or your listeners can take that. I just love being a part of this amazing company and doing something unique in Macedonia. That's about it.
That's just awesome to hear, because I love meeting people that just love what they do.
Yeah.
And we're here to share their stories. Okay, then tell me why. First of all, tell me briefly, like, what is Slice for people who don't know, and why are you in Slice?
Yes.
Why did you choose to work for Slice?
Yeah, so Slice is a company that, a startup, I guess I would say, that connects local pizzerias with customers in the United States. From New York all the way to Alaska, we have 6,000 restaurants that are working with us, and that number is growing at a very, very fast pace. And what we do is basically take this mom and pop shops who everyone knows make delicious pizza and delicious food in the United States, and we help them compete with big chains who are not more into, they're not into the food quality as much as they're in technology. And a lot of them have actually rebranded themselves as technology companies. And here we are, we saw that there was this great opportunity to help, this group of restaurants, of pizzerias who, a lot of them actually are immigrants from this region in the Balkans. And we're helping them get to a level of technology where they need to be. I mean, a lot of these guys are working with fax machines still, and so that's the solution that we're providing them, is an online place for them to market their menus, and a place where customers can go in and order through an app or a website. And for me, the reason I am a part of Slice is just because of that. Is my family has been in the restaurant business. It is something that I know very, very well. And to be able to kind of be in the forefront of making a group of restaurants like pizzerias more technically able to serve their customers and increase their technology is just an amazing opportunity. At the same time, because the operations are here in Macedonia, being able to expand and scale this team and hire individuals and train them and promote them and do all that stuff, there's just really no words that kind of can explain how awesome that feeling is. And to be able to have that opportunity to say that my job is in Ohrid, to be able to say that we have a company that's hiring 200-300 people in Ohrid, just a dream. So for me, I wish that every other person in the world can have this opportunity. It's just an amazing experience, learning a lot like crazy as well, just seeing so many different challenges and ideas and how to grow and how to expand, all that stuff. It's just an amazing opportunity, and I just think that anyone would have taken it.
Cool. Because of the background of some of you from here, from this region, from Debar and from Ohrid, maybe this was something that popped into your mind. Okay, let's go over there and check out what's happening and see if we can build something and hire people. But what were the biggest challenges in the beginning in setting up the whole infrastructure for your company and finding out all this administrative work and stuff like that behind the business?
Yeah. So I mean, the company. It's crazy because there's always a next step. There's always a version of the company. So when the company first started 9 years ago, it was two people in New York, Ilir and a developer, our founder and our CEO. And then there was two people in Debar, Butrin Sela and another employee. When basically they just did some very simple stuff. And then all of a sudden the business started growing and then came into another phase where we had 40, 50 employees in Debar and they were running the whole business, the backhand. And the third phase came in when we all of a sudden attracted investors and people who were in the industry in the United States. And we started hiring and expanding in New York, where we hired individuals who worked at Seamless or have worked at Single Platform or other companies where they can bring their experiences and strategy into Slice. And then, of course, at that same time, another phase came in where we joined the company and we started working in an American type culture where things were set up in an American type way, and all of a sudden that allowed us to be more efficient, more productive, and kind of be at the quality that we needed to be. And every single phase, every single step that we take kind of possesses different challenges. So of course in the beginning it was very difficult to convince people that we are an American-based company. Now when you see this amazing office, you say, hey, oh yeah, that makes sense. But in the beginning we were in a corner somewhere in the first floor in my house, or in Debar, 8-9 years ago they were in a second floor with like a hole in the floor. And to be able to convince someone of the vision, of the mission, to say, hey, this is going to be big sometime in the future, it was difficult. It was a challenge that people in Macedonia who are skeptic in general just didn't want to believe it. And then another challenge was just being able to kind of catch up with all of this. We went from 2 to 50 to 100, and all of a sudden we were talking about how we're 160 until our people team leader came by and said, hey, do you know we're 210 people? And you forget how fast it's growing. And because it's growing so fast, you have to kind of keep up with all the administrative tasks, the legal aspects of the business, the financial aspect of the business. At the same time, train everybody and make sure that they're moving up. And also, of course, keep up with all these orders that we're receiving from the United States. And we have to process those and provide support for everybody. So mainly they've been work challenges, and they've been very, very interesting and fun challenges to overcome as a team.
What was your biggest learning so far? Let's say, like on a personal but also on a professional level, something that, I don't know, maybe happens during your regular day here at Slice, or...
Yeah, I think for me it was the beginning. Where I was, I think, a little too confident, knowing that it's an American company, and I saw the vision, and I saw, hey, this is going to be big one day, and this is going to be awesome. But being able to convince people was difficult, and I was too confident on that. And so when we first started recruiting individuals, I thought that it was fairly easy. Just tell them, hey, if you're unemployed, you want a job, we have a job. But there was actually a time when a candidate looked at our office and said, hey, I don't think you guys are ready for any of what you guys are talking about. Gave me their business card and walked away. And for me, that was a learning opportunity to say, okay, this is not going to be easy. Regardless if the unemployment rate is high, we still have to recruit at a very high quality level. And so that was a very big learning experience for me. That was the beginning. Another learning experience that I want to talk about is the fact that being a GM and working with 210 employees, you have to learn to listen. And so when you're smaller and there's 30 or 40 employees, it's fairly easy to kind of say, hey, let's work on this, let's work on that. But once you get to 210 and even bigger, you have to start listening of what the needs are of the individuals, of the company. There's different projects at the same time. And so to be able to manage everything at once, it takes a lot of listening, and for me, I didn't know how difficult that would be, but now it's something where you have to kind of remind yourself that, hey, there's 210 people with 200 different opinions, and they all matter at one point or another. So those are the two somewhat difficult learning opportunities for me that I had as well.
What do you do on a daily basis, let's say, to try to keep up? Because you said there was a point in time where you were a team of, let's say, 5 people in the beginning, and now only in Macedonia there are people, the team is like 200 something people. What do you do to keep up with, let's say, all of your employees and to know their development and the whole process of how Slice is going in which direction?
Yeah, so first we have to create a good structure, and we have leads or managers, and they only manage about 8 people at most. And if you keep those small teams small, they know each other a little better and communication flows a little better. But at the same time, it still is 210 people. So what we did was we invested in a software called Butterfly, and that sent out to our team every 2 weeks, where they actually respond with comments about how they feel about their work life, the office space, their colleagues, their managers. Forgot one more question on there, but that every 2 weeks, that gives us an indication of how people really feel. And for us, it's as important as it is to be productive, people need to be happy. And so we look at that software as an opportunity for everyone to speak up. It's anonymous at the same time, so people can write about whatever they want, and we're very interested in those feedbacks or criticism, because at the end of the day, if we can correct those, it'll make our employees even happier. And then also we do have another software program, another tool called Donut. It's very simple, but it connects random team members in all 3 offices with each other every 2 weeks, and they have coffee together or they'll chat about stuff. And so there's a lot of effort, even during holidays like 4th of July. We'll have a 4th of July party, pizza parties, all these social events that we do. It's done so that people can kind of enjoy working with each other and like learn who they're working with. But yeah, investing in people, making sure that they're happy, it's not something that we look at as an option. It's a must, and that's how we treat it. So we don't we are looking at even other software or even other tools that will help us make people even happier and wanting to work here.
Cool. And what is your mission, like the next steps with Slice, and what are you going to do regarding those next steps in accomplishing your personal mission in terms of Slice?
So the mission is to be able to grow out of it and keep up with the business. But at the same time, that growth needs to be in a level of quality that is matched with the United States. So we're looking at options of growth. We're looking at Tetovo, Skopje. We're looking at different countries. We're looking at different areas to see what's the best place for us to grow, where we can hire talented individuals who are motivated. They want to work for an American-based company. They speak fluent English. But at the same time, that only takes care of the quantity part of the business. So we also want to look at the quality of it. So we want to invest in our training and development team. We're currently hiring teachers in Ohrid and in Debar, and we'll probably hire them in every single office that we have. And those teachers are responsible for teaching English to our employees and to the community who wants to join us. Training and development, we're looking at hiring more trainers and even hiring a senior training and development expert that can come in and say, hey, this is the level that we need to bring individuals in, and kind of set a process of a training process that's somewhere between 3 to 6 months long, that gets people to go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Okay.
But that's the goal, is to expand and to be able to handle the workload that is brought in, but at the same time to do that in a very, very high quality way, where people in the States, when they call us for support, they can't distinguish that they're calling in Macedonia.
Cool. And what would you say to, let's say, digital nomads or entrepreneurs that are looking Macedonia as a potential destination for starting their business? Maybe share some of your learnings in an American company setting up their whole business and hiring 200 plus people in Macedonia.
Yeah. there's challenges, but at the same time, I travel to New York almost on a quarterly basis. We go there every 3 months to kind of meet up, and they have almost similar challenges that we have here. So it's not too different from what they're already accustomed to in the beginning. At the same time, if you just simply do the math, living expenses are tremendously low in Ohrid, even in Macedonia and the whole region, Albania in general, and to be able to have such low living costs, but at the same time work for a company that's in the West per se, or work with an app or a program that again brings in a high number of funds. It just makes sense for individuals to come in here. For any startup, it's very important to look at the runway and how much funds they have and how long they can go with those funds. You can extend the length of your runway by moving to Macedonia significantly. Something that would last you 6 months in Western countries may last you 2 to 3 years here. So budgeting wise, it's a lot easier on the expenses. And for me, especially Ohrid, this place is heaven. It's beautiful. It has amazing infrastructure. You have internet lines that are fiber optic, extremely fast. At the same time, you have electricity, water, all the things that you would need in a Western country, just at 1/10 of the price. And a perfect example of being able to just simply do it is that our board meeting for Slice and our board members are in New York, and even in our recent investor from California. They actually had a board meeting in this conference room that we're in right now, and they didn't miss a beat. The internet line worked. You have technology like Chromebox and High Five and all these video apps that allow you to have communication, uncut communication with your colleagues or with managers in other countries. But again, at such a low price that it just doesn't make sense not to be here right now. This region,
and plus you have the local support of
yes, that was big.
Startup
No, that was big.
Also.
That was big. You have a lot of support. People, when they hear that something big is coming into town, or when they hear that there's an opportunity, regardless if it's new or it's been there for a while, they're excited about that. I can't tell you how passionate and motivated our people are. So when you do need help, you're not gonna find someone who wants to work 8 hours for you and just get the job done. You'll find someone who's just as invested in the company as you may be.
And that's probably the most important part of.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. Well, that's why anybody who's interested to join the Slice team here in Macedonia, they can go to
slice.mk, and you have all the job descriptions and everything you need there, and you can apply or shoot us an email kind of letting us know what you can kind of help us in.
And I promise you that Alban is a really nice general manager, so you will be in perfect hands here in Slice. Thank you guys for listening. The first ever podcast of Startup Selfie, and looking forward to the next guest. Cheers!